I'd like to call this Free River Community High School District 77 Board of Education meeting to order. Please call roll.
Mr. Parrish?
Here.
Mrs. Staub?
Here.
Mr. Reynolds?
Here.
Mr. Madrell?
Here.
Mr. Haas?
Here.
Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Gouch? Ms. Marlar?
Here.
We have a quorum. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do we have any agenda changes this evening?
There are not.
Okay. At this time, we open the floor to public comments. Does anybody have any public comments this evening? All right, seeing none. We need to approve the consent agenda. Everybody's had a chance to look at it. Do we have any changes, additions, any questions?
Motion to approve.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a second. Vicki, we'll start with you.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries. Do we have any committee reports this evening?
We do. We have a building and grounds that we'll discuss in closed session, and we did have a strategic planning committee meeting before this meeting.
So at the meeting earlier this evening, we discussed the survey that went out. We got 83 responses asking about our vision statement and what we would like for the school. So that went out to students. We put it in the newspaper, and then it went out to the school board members and faculty. Got 83 responses. The overwhelming winner is with 55% was helping students succeed today to prepare for the challenges of tomorrow. So that's what the committee would like to suggest that we adopt as a school, as our vision statement.
Action later, okay.
And then did you want to go over the next step?
Yes, so from here we discussed Mr. Larry Dirk's report that he gave us from our meeting last year. What we've decided to do going forward is that Mr. Breaking, Ms. Jung, and Ms. Crump will go ahead and go over the goals that were presented, that we came up as a whole group, community, school board, faculty members, and parents. They're gonna go over those goals, try and combine some of those. We came up with 14 overall last year. That's a lot to take on as a school. We wanted to and some of them look like they can kind of be combined. And so they're gonna go ahead and go through those, kind of shrink them down a little bit, and come up with indicators, possible ways of seeing how we meet those goals. So they're gonna do that, and we're gonna have another strategic planning meeting before the July school board meeting at 6 o'clock, so.
All right, very good. Any questions? Okay. Student members report.
Okay, so I'm going to start with track. So the track season is underway and going well. Girls just got second overall at the Muscuda home meet, and Caroline Gagan broke the school record in triple jump. Boys got first overall in Nashville with 4x4, 4x2, and 300-meter hurdle meet records. And tomorrow, girls have a meet at Edwardsville, and boys have a meet at Muscuda. Girls soccer, they are currently planning their senior night for April 29th. And the whole team is improving and doing really well with the new coach, with several freshmen starting varsity. Baseball's Busch Stadium game is May 4th at 3 p.m. It is always a really good time for the kids, and they would love to have as many fans possible there to support them. For softball is off to a 10-6 start. Highlights so far have included beating rivalry Columbia and going 4-1 in the first half of the conference series. Now for art, so art's kind of long. Each spring, the Congressional Institute sponsors a nationwide high school art competition. The exhibit is held at Swift, with the art being displayed until April 5th. This year's first place winner for the 12th Congressional District was Eva Weber for her drawing Mariposa, and I won honorable mention for my mixed media drawing, Journey to the Center of Illinois. Other participants this year included Ethan Gardner and Bridget King. Eva's drawing will be displayed for 1 year in the Cannon Tunnel at the U.S. Capitol, and she has been invited to the unveiling of the exhibit and a reception in Washington, D.C. Now going on to Student Council. Student Council will be helping set up for prom next Friday along with the prom committee, and we'll start preparing for Honors Night after that, which is May 6th this year. And then prom committee, Prom committee chose the theme of Midnight Masquerade and the colors gold, black, red, and white for prom this year. And at prom, to go along with the theme, there will be gift card prizes for the best masquerade masks. And the categories are best guys, best girls, best couples, and most creative masks. Also, prom court was voted on today and decided. For WISE team, next Tuesday formerly known as WISE team, now it's Academic Challenge. Katie Kohlberg will be competing in biology at the state level, and Blake Hatter will be competing in physics at the state level as well. And then finally, for football, plans are being made for their upcoming season, and a total of 81 players have signed up so far. So that is all of the things currently going on in school right now.
Okay. Any questions or comments?
I would just say another fine job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Principal's report?
Okay, I have a very short report, which I put in your some packets. If you get a chance to look at it, it's mostly just about some dates and how testing went, which was very successful. Instead of giving a report tonight, I would like to introduce you to our FCHS Winter Guard team, who has had an absolutely outstanding season. They took first place at Escuda, first place at Francis Howell, third place at O'Fallon, second place at Edwardsville, and first place at the MCCGA championships that were at Nixa High School, or at Nixa High School in Nix, Missouri. It is just amazing, amazing program, and we're gonna look at a video here in a little bit, but I would like you to first meet the FCHS Winter Guard. So, if you all come up here, don't be shy in the back of the room.
For the camera.
I'm just right out here.
This right
Great.
here. Okay.
This is Coach.
Hello.
And I'll tell you what, I'm gonna make you all talk tonight, okay? Give them your first, last name, and what year you are at Hoover.
I'm Mary Francis and I'm a freshman. I'm Rachel Leichert and I'm a senior. I'm Sophia Graham and I'm a sophomore. I'm Ella Fournier and I'm a freshman.
Will Funderburg and I'm a freshman.
I'm Bailey Rubin and I'm a sophomore. I'm Olivia Proctor and I'm a sophomore. I'm Kelly Hughes, I'm an assistant coach.
We have more people that are on the guard, but they're not here. Do you want me to speak now?
Sure.
Okay.
About your season.
So, this was my first year in fall guard, so that's color guard, and then winter is in the winter. So it was my first year as the director for fall and winter guard. I was very nervous. I don't know if I was nervous. I was more just anxious to see like what I could do. I went to high school here. I was in the guard program competitively when it started. When we started winter guard back, I was a sophomore in like 2013. I've been here ever since then, and it's really neat for me to go through the program, see the good days and the really bad days that we had as a guard, and to now be able to take it over and have Kelly help me, and really just kind of change the way we do things. I marched 3 years of a guard here in St. Louis, and we've done very well the past couple of years. And from there, I've learned a lot of skills to teach them how to really manipulate the equipment, rifle, flag, their bodies as dance. It's really neat to, like I said, be able to come in and teach them these things and give them the skills to better them. And I feel like color guard is a very misunderstood activity. It's not just sheets tied to a flag or a broom, and you're spinning it in the air and tossing it and throwing it. It takes a lot of knowing where things are supposed to be released, how heavy it is in your hand, where it's supposed to be released in the air, how many rotations it's supposed to do while you're also turning under it and catching under your leg, stuff like that. And these kids this year did amazing, and there's so much that goes into a show. Like, I have to design everything, I have to pick out the uniforms, the costumes, the flags, where they go on the floor, what their choreography is, and once it's out of my hands, it's all in their hands. And it's really nice to have a very great, hardworking group. I had a band parent ask me, how many times did you tell them that wasn't good enough? And I was like, a lot. You can't, in color guard, you can't skim by and be like, oh yeah, that was kind of good. No, you have to be like, I don't want to go out there and look like that. I want to go out there and have all the flags rotate together, all the flags catch together, all the rifles catch together, all you guys performing and living your best lives out on that floor and having the crowd just cheer you on. And it was really nice to have validation that we all were doing our jobs as coaches and members. And I'm really grateful for this season. and I'm really excited for this next fall season. And I'm really thankful that we have a very good support from you guys as staff and employees of this high school. It's very nice also to have kids show up to their competitions and watch them, and I think she came to a couple. I don't know if other people came to a couple, but it's really nice to see that we're getting supported. I'm not saying we weren't supported in the past, but I feel like more now it's like a cool thing kind of ish. Like we're doing well, so people are like, oh, they must be good. But it's really nice to be here. I'm really excited for the next years that I'll be here and however long I decide to be here. But yes, thank you guys all, and thank you guys all. Yeah.
You want to grab a seat? We're going to show your video. Coach Gordon.
We also did get second overall out of 50 guards at our championship.
Thank you. So first in your
First in our round, and
your
then
round,
second
your-
overall out of
in
50.
your area.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
You haven't seen this yet?
Greenberg Community High School Winter Month.
One
judges.
Oh,
Is that the same judge that when you
Yeah.
guys were done went like this?
Yeah.
He was super excited.
So thank you, FCH Winter Guard, for all you did. Great season. Seniors, we wish the seniors the best of luck. We will miss you greatly. We hope you come back and train and help them, and we look forward to the next couple of years. So thank you for being here tonight. You're great.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do all your performances like elicit such great emotion?
It just depends. I mean, every show, like you could have a show, like I had a show this year that I was in about cyberbullying, and we had to act like we were like trolls, like nasty, creepy trolls, and then eventually we went to like more sophisticated trolls that hide behind a computer screen. So it just depends on the show, and like people do Christmas shows, people do this kind of show that's more emotional, people do like frog shows, and people are in frog costumes and they hop around the floor like frogs and they toss flags up and they do everything together. So it just depends on what kind of shows you can have, like a murder mystery show, pretty much whatever you want to do. So, but yeah.
I just thought this was really moving.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Time for the superintendent's report.
all right, first is, there is the summer Southwest Division Governing Committee meeting. This is where they elect new officers. Each school district is allowed one vote, so if we have a board member that would like to attend on behalf of the board and cast our vote, I will not be able to go to this meeting, but if you're interested in going, let Kendra know and she will get reservations, but if somebody is going to go, we just need somebody to kind of register and cast their vote for the folks that are running.
Yeah.
I will get that to you. It's in June, I think. Sorry about that. Next thing is, we've already talked about having the gym floor resurfaced this year. Mr. Toma has also contacted several different painters, and we found a person, reputable person that would paint the gym. It's going to run about $6,000. Coach Lahr has actually gone to the MABC, and they have agreed to pay for that. So along with refurbishing the floor, we're going to have the gym walls painted as well. It's going to be a two-tone. Please don't ask the colors, but it'll be Freeburg High School appropriate colors. But I don't know exactly what they're painted in. Coach K took off on her trip on Sunday. As you know, she's walking the Pacific Coast Trail. She really wanted me to express to the board her thanks and heartfelt thanks for allowing her to do this. She also has a blog that she is writing on daily, and that I've included that address in there. What is today? Thursday, so she's about on day 4 or 5, day 4. And so it's a really interesting read. I mean, you can really follow along, and she actually is shared. She has a GPS tracker that she has with her, so she shared that with some of the teachers so they can actually follow where she's at. So it's pretty interesting, and so but she wanted to thank the board. And then the last thing I have, since this is going to be Mr. Madrell's final official board meeting, is I have a plaque here. I guess I should keep this plastic. So Mr. Madrell, if you would please stand.
Surprise, surprise.
So this says Freeburg Community High School District 77, presented by the Board of Education to Mr. Ray Madrell, board member 2003 through 2019. That was the year I was born, actually. That's awesome. In appreciation of dedicated service to the student, staff, and communities, Freeburg Community High School, District 77. So I wanted to thank you.
Well, I actually didn't have anything prepared for tonight. I was going to wait till the special meeting this week, but it's been an absolute pleasure working with boards over the years, working with this administration at this high school, and the faculty and the staff and the students. And I can't imagine a greater give back to the community than doing something like this. And I appreciate that. everybody's efforts along the way, and I'm very thankful for this experience, and wish my replacement the best of luck, because I know he'll do a fine job too. But thank you all, appreciate it.
Okay, any questions or comments on the superintendent's report this evening? Hearing none, we're gonna move on to old business.
The first item, strategic planning committee, like Mrs. Miller said, we had a committee meeting beforehand. The item that we have brought for action is the adoption of the vision statement. Had 4 different options. The one that won is helping students succeed today to prepare for the challenges of tomorrow. So that is, I believe, the recommendation of the committee to have that adopted as the school's new vision statement.
Okay, so moving, I'll second that. All those in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye. So none opposed, motion carries.
Just a quick update on the Ag Center construction update. It's completely gutted right now. This week's been a little slow, but I've been told by the architect that they are ordering supplies and equipment that should be here next week, and they'll start working on the replacing the roof. But the inside is completely gutted of everything that'll come out. The only downer that we've had is that we're suspecting that the exterior sewer line is probably clogged, and if that they're going to do a little more search to see if they haven't found it yet, so they're going to try to find it. If it is clogged, it looks like it's probably going to be a $12,000 additional cost. Recall that there's a $20,000 contingency in the project, so that would eat $12,000 of that up pretty quickly. So I'll keep you updated on that, but we're still in line to have it done in plenty of time for this fall.
Any questions or comments on that item? Okay, so none, on C.
The board approved to go to pay for the Press Plus. I've been in contact with Mr. Boyd Ferguson from the ISBE. He and I are going to sit down next month and start the work on that. I've already sent him some documents, so that'll get started. After that takes place, I think I talked to Mr. Parrish, we're going to probably put a committee together that will meet with Mr. Ferguson and myself and continue that work to get our board policy manual updated.
Okay, any questions or comments on that item? Okay, let's move on to new business.
This is I'm saying it wrong. Every other year, biennial. Thank you. The band goes on a trip. Last year, I was lucky enough to go with them on their trip down to Florida. Next summer, they're going to be going to New York City. They're going to be touring the city. They actually are going to perform on the USS Intrepid, which is a rather large ship. It's an aircraft carrier. And then they're going to be working at a workshop doing Broadway music. So that is going to be a really neat trip. Yeah. So they have the band boosters, because of the changeover in the directors, have officially asked the board's permission to go on the trip, and that's kind of typical of what we do. So I would recommend the board approve the band trip for next summer.
We have a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Burrell. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion carries.
The next item is included in the electronic package for the III conference, which is in November. The delegate assembly, which Angie attended last year, they have submissions for any changes that board members would like to make. So there is a form that's in your electronic packet that if you're interested in submitting any kind of resolutions to that board, you can. I will be asking probably next month for those that are interested in attending, because we try to get our name in early so we get the hotel. And then also, I know some of us went Friday to conferences, and it was really good. So we'll look for those as soon as we get them, and then I'll send that out. but if you could kind of check your calendars, those dates are November, it's actually for us the 21st through the 24th. We usually leave on a Thursday, and then the conference starts on Friday morning, come back Sunday morning. So if you would check your calendars and let me know in May if you're interested, that way we can kind of get it going.
Any questions or comments? Okay, let's move on. Item C.
This is something we've been looking at for a while. The health insurance that the district pays, or district uses. We have looked at a couple different companies. We are in the process of talking to a brokerage firm, which is called Cornerstone Insurance Group. I have tentatively set a meeting up with them. I've asked the board, a couple board members that they would like to attend. I know Angie said she was interested. So if there's anyone else that would like to attend, that would be great. Could be a fairly substantial savings in insurance, but still have the same basic level of insurance that we have now. And so we're going to look at that. I know there's a group of teachers who are going to attend that as well. So if anybody's interested, if you would get a hold of me, and I'll give you the details of that.
Okay, any questions comments on that? Next item.
Jeff and I have been talking about the next big Chromebook purchase. The last set of Chromebooks that we purchased, this is the third year. So next year will be the last year of the 4-year lease. And so one of the things that Jeff is looking at is, should we lease just one new set of Chromebooks each year? That way we can kind of keep them updated. I've listed some reasons why. He thinks there could be a little bit of savings if we do it that way. Feels that the models are compatible, so that if we go from year to year with the model. So it's something we're going to look at. We're going to talk a little bit more. We've got a little bit of time to make the decision, but I wanted to kind of include that is something that we're looking at for the next set of Chromebooks.
Any questions or comments on that item? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on. Do we have any board correspondence this evening?
We do not.
Any addenda items?
We do not.
Do we have a reason to go into closed session?
We do. We have some student discipline, some personnel decisions to make, and also for possible real estate transactions.
Okay, do we have a motion to go into closed session?
A motion.
Ms. Miller has a motion. Second. Second, Ms. Hawk. We'll start with you, Mike.
Aye.
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 Motion carries. We're down in closed session. Thank you very much
Yep,
for coming.
thank you.
Good job,
Wonderful
guys.
job.
All right, I move to approve the early graduation of student A for December of 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Sir, you ready?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Move to accept the resignation of Mrs. Karen Miller as academic challenge coach effective at the end of the 2018-2019 school year.
So moved. Second.
Dennis?
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Motion passes.
Move to accept the resignation of Mr. Ben Oakley as agricultural teacher effective at the end of the 2018-2019 school year.
So moved.
Seconded.
Aye.
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 Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Move to accept the resignation of Mr. Doug Zergel as the social studies teacher and student council sponsor effective at the end of the 2018-2019 school year. So moved.
Second.
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Move to approve the hire of Mrs. Dusty Ingalls as the agriculture education and FFA sponsor for our at Freeburg High School for the 2019-20 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion passes.
Move to approve the hire of Mr. Christopher Goss as the music teacher at FCHS for the 2019-2020 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Move to approve the hire of Mr. Brad Dahlbach as a special education teacher at FCHS for the 2019-2020 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
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 Move move to approve the hiring of Mrs. Alyssa Frank as cheerleading coach at FCHS for the 2019-2020 school year.
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Move to approve the resolution of intent to purchase the Brad Towers property for $650,000.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
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 Motion passes. We have a motion to adjourn this evening.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Mrs. Miller. All those in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have something on your phone?
Huh?
Did you have something on your phone somehow to do it?
It is.
Apparently.
That's something I couldn't do, but I thought he did that once before. Oh, that's pretty cool.